All right, have a look at this one. Arbuckle drops back and he's scanning, and oh no. You remember this one from the other preview for the other game? Touchdown, Calgary. I just got done watching an amazing Rough Riders versus the Argonauts match. So that was pretty nice. Heading into this preview here, we have the Redblacks and the Stampeders. The Redblacks, if you've been following this channel, I have a real problem with their defense, namely the fact that they just commit stupid fouls all the time. Well, if you've been following this channel, you'll also notice that I was really down on the Stampeders for 2 weeks now, and I'm finally high on them. I think the Calgary Stampeders are a good team. I don't have anything negative to say really about the Redblacks on offense. And it is the offense of the Calgary Stampeders that stands out despite a really good defensive performance in their last match during week number 2. I was really negative about Vernon Adams for the longest time, too, but he was really good against those Toronto Argonauts during week 2. Didn't throw any interceptions, just was a sharp operator out there. I would like to see more of a running attack, but you know what? Let's go ahead and get to the stat slides before we get any further, because you'll hear that this will be redundant if I say all this right now. While the Redblacks, however, Drew Brown was playing magnificently in their last match, and it was against the Saskatchewan Roughriders, who have a very potent defense. I wasn't a fan of the Rough Riders defense week 1 and week 2, but this week three match, they played the Argonauts very well on defense, despite it being a photo finish. I don't like that there isn't very much balance on their attack, but with a quarterback like Drew Brown, it's a valid offense. It's a valid offense. Which makes it sicker that the defense ruins it for them. So let's go ahead and dive into those stats and really dig into the details, shall we? But first, let's get into a clip. See, the Redblacks here have had their shots with some lucky breaks, as this guy's going to drop the ball out of his basket. And, you know, they capitalize with their offense at times. It's the defense. Like I always say, I'm not going to hammer on it too hard during this time. You'll see that during the stats section. But the Alouettes were able to stand them up right here 2 times, so that's something. Let's take a brief peek at these standings here. Actually, let me do a deep cut here and give you updated standings because Saskatchewan won against the Argonauts. So let me give you that. Well, actually, no deep cut because it seems to me that they're not updated yet. So you have to use your imagination and say Argonauts are at the bottom of the East, and the West Division, the Rough Riders are at the top. Temporarily, there'll still be points for and points against, so we'll see about that. The East Division's looking pretty rough, besides the Alouettes, now isn't it? There isn't very much else to say on the slide because it's early into the season, so since it's a grain of salt, let's move on. Vernon Adams. Let's see Vernon Adams here. Sorry, I should have had it on play. And this is the play before it. I'm out of sync. Let's go ahead and see Vernon Adams throw a good pass. Oh, look at this. Oh, this is nuts. This is nuts. Pretty sure this is the play I'm looking for, right? Right, here it is. That was nice, at least. Sorry about that, guys. Now we'll have a closer look at the Redblacks. The Redblacks passer, Drew Brown, he threw the ball with an accuracy of 68%. 0 interceptions, 2 touchdowns, 10-yard average. I see nothing wrong with the guy. I was hard about his performance during week 1, but here's week 2 against what should be a really good defense. And I know that the Rough Riders fell at the very end of the game. They fell into bad habits at the end of the game and still won. But the Redblacks have a valid offense, if only because of their quarterback. If he can turn another performance like this, and if he can do so consistently, that'd be great. As you can see here, though, he does not have much help in terms of his running counterpart, stand back here. As far as the wide receiver targets go, I'm not a fan that there's three people that are receiving the majority of the attention from Mr. Brown. While on defense, it's pretty. He's getting some fumbles. I mean, they're getting some fumbles, they're getting some interceptions. But despite all of this production, they tend to ruin the game for themselves by committing terrible penalties. Penalties that are unnecessary, penalties that are just hyper aggressive without being aggressive towards something functional, like, hey, you're going off sides because you're trying to beat the snap, or you're holding someone back who might go for a touchdown. I'm talking about some crazy things. As we go to the next slide with first a clip. This will look like a good pass, but the defensive back had time to break up the ball. He just tried to hawk it. He had a bad angle, and he paid for that bad angle. First down. Let's give ourselves some time to provide a brief synopsis of the game between the Alouettes and the Redblacks heading into this next match between themselves, the Redblacks and the Stampeders. I want you to hyperfixate on those penalty yards. All of those penalty yards were terrible, just terrible. And as you can see, there isn't much to say other than the Alouettes dominated them as we go into the next clip. Look at this shot pass right here as it goes. Oh, he's because the defender had his head turned, he was able to throw it right where he wanted it. Let's go ahead and watch this field goal. Why not? It was a pretty long one, right? 17 out of 25 passes with an average of 12 yards per pass. His running backs, as a committee of, well, no, actually, just Dedrick was able to at least put up a kind of balance despite only 28 yards. He was there to just basically keep the defense reasonable, that they had to protect the run and the pass. 28 yards, just not good enough, though. Not good enough to say that there's a real balance. I think Vernon Adams Jr. is really good at running the ball. I don't want him to run the ball as often. I want him to stay healthy throughout this 18-game season. While there's a hyperfixation with two of these targets here, and the defense performed very well during this Week 2 match, much better than their Week 1 match. Let's see if they continue to have the uptick in this Week 3 competition against the Redblacks. Let's see something good on defense. But it's sort of lucky because it slipped through his hands, but we're going to see a bit of a return here. That's some good fun. I usually avoid talking about this team stat slide, but in this case, it's to the invective of noticing that the rush attack is there. And so the pass yards are similar between the two teams. It's still good enough as far as I'm concerned. You see that they're able to get some turnovers. They got some fumbles. They got some interceptions. They got some pressures in. Sure, the Argonauts hit their quarterback 3 times. They hit their quarterback 2 times. I'm still happy that they're able to do it at least 2 times and get some tackles for loss. I like that the Stampeders, despite me thinking they were bad, are shaping up into another complete team like the Alouettes. While the Alouettes, their last game, Week 3, before these guys played the Stampeders and the Redblacks, they sort of regressed. Well, I want to see if the Stampeders continue to progress into the next match. Okay, he's a running quarterback. Let's see what he does. Really good. I wouldn't even say best. He's a good thrower, too. Slide. I like that, though. I like that he slides. It's a -3 spread for the Calgary Stampeders. I think they'll cover those points. And if you go money line, they'll win the game outright. There's only been one time where I thought that the points shouldn't be a good take, and that was the Alouettes. Excuse me, not the Alouettes. The Rough Riders and the Argonauts just tonight. That was the only time where I was like, don't take the points in this one. It's going to be too close. It ended up being a photo finish with a kickoff return touchdown. So it seems like I'm improving in my knowledge here with the gambling, a little harder than just pick 'em. I think the Stampeders will win on the money line and they'll win in the points. I don't handle over-unders because I'm not competent with over-unders. So I don't even think gambling should be your priority at all. As long as you have I don't know. In any case, guys, I really appreciate you watching this show. Bye for now.